Can I ask you a professional question?
Are we starting, or is this going to be edited out, or what?
No, we're going to edit it right there. Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a professional question?
Yeah?
Are you a financial advisor?
No.
Are you a tax advisor?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
But do I give advice on anything?
Huh?
Do I give advice
Not
on
really,
anything?
no.
No.
No, you don't. Hi, everybody. We're going to be talking about some things that involve finance and taxes and stuff like that today. So, big disclaimer, we are not financial advisors and not tax advisors.
No.
So,
No.
yeah.
Nor immigration advisors.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah. Not life advisors, yeah. So,
you're a real estate man.
Yeah.
My degree is computer engineering.
yeah.
No, I don't have any of that knowledge.
Okay, because that could be dangerous, right? So, but I will say that the topic for today's discussion is should you relocate to Thailand to retire as an expat or wait? And if you're kind of kicking that around, something I did was I talked to my CPA, certified public accountant, who gave me some advice. And I told him, this is my plan. I said that, I'm looking at Social Security kicking in a while, but not yet. And then should I take it early? Should I wait longer? Should I work more? And he looked the plan up and down, Ray, and he said, no, this is a solid plan. And he said, in fact, I'm surprised more of my clients don't do it. What? Move abroad?
Do what?
I said.
Move
abroad.
abroad.
He says, yeah. He says the numbers work so well.
Do you tell him that most of them don't have a passport?
Yeah. Well, that's another discussion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm moving to Thailand, but I don't have a passport yet. Yeah, we'll get one and we'll have a conversation. So anyways, I'm celebrating something today, so cheers to you and to me, because I have something in common with you now. I am a pensioner.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So finally, Social Security kicked in, got my first check, and I was like, "Woo!" It wasn't.
They're exciting checks.
Yeah. Well, it's not a huge check, but it's something that I showed to my my CPA, and when I was considering this, and he said, "Yeah, you can make that work." And so that, if you're expecting a pension, that might be something to consider. Now, what I did when I was deciding should I go now or should I wait I was going to wait a year and a half. I did a Ben Franklin. You remember what a Ben Franklin is?
I do.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was flying a kite one day, right?
One rainy day.
Yeah, trying to. Anyway. I heard that he was running around dragging that damn kite behind him.
Yeah.
And his wife said, "Ben, you bloody idiot, you'll never get that kite off the ground. You need a piece of tail." He said, "Well, that's what I told you this morning when you told me to go fly a kite."
Bob Hope wants his writer's
I'm sorry,
back.
you brought up Ben Franklin.
Oh, Ray, you're a card and you need to be dealt with. So anyways...
All right.
A Ben Franklin is where you take a sheet of paper, and he did it differently. It was like a scale, and you make a line down the middle, or do a spreadsheet. That's what I did. Just put it on an Excel sheet, and put the positives on one side, the negatives on the other. So weighing out, coming here now or coming here later. Now, a lot of folks in the U.S. and other countries have been experiencing some inflation lately, and so you might be wondering what it's like here. There's a website. You're familiar with Numbeo, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Numbeo.com. How do you spell it?
Numbeo.
Okay, and so if you get on Numbeo and you type in Shanghai, you'll actually see some entries for every little cost you can imagine. It's pretty verbose, and you can. It's a language of guessing, but I would say that. Using some Numbeo figures and what I forecasted, after living here for a year, I was only about 10% off of what those figures, my forecast and guesses, and those I got off of Numbeo compared to where I lived in Reno, Nevada. And so you can compare it to your own city and look at the costs. But some people might decide to stay put a little longer because they're in a situation with their job maybe called, that they'll refer to as golden handcuffs. You heard that before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What is golden handcuffs to you?
You can't leave till you get the gold.
Right. So maybe you're an executive.
Even though it's probably a cheap Timex watch.
Right, gold plated though. Hey, so if you're in a situation where you've got maybe a bonus or something, or a Christmas bonus, or a pension that you get a bonus when it comes into fruition, then that might be something that you need to weigh out on the scale when you're doing the Ben Franklin. Or there might be family or personal ties. Maybe your kids are still in school, or there might be reasons to stay and just not do it now. Go ahead and plan for it if that's what you like. Maybe you have pets. I remember I just labored over the fact that my beloved Cocker Spaniel was going to be difficult to get here. It was expensive and it was a hassle. That's all I'll say. That's why you rarely meet pets that were flown in from another country here. But I love my dog, so I'm glad I did. Every day I thank myself for bringing my pet with me. The other thing is, of course, is financial. If you're looking at like a rainy day fund, we had a lot of rain lately, haven't we?
Oh yeah, we're in the rainy season.
My gosh, yes. It's coming down.
Yeah, it comes down like a cow whizzing on a flat rock.
The splash factor will get you. So you've got rain that you save up for. You know, that's why they call it saving for a rainy day. Then you got some cash should you have some challenges. Well, let's say you have some challenges here in Thailand once you get here. Let's say you have 2 rainy days, 3 rainy days. You should be prepared for the worst and have some money socked away and available and liquid so that if something goes wrong, you're ready for that. If you don't, if you know, in fact, a lot of visas, you get retirement visas that are available, you've got to be able to prove that you have funds or a regular income, but that's a topic for a different day. Also, you said something, Ray, recently about the exchange rate, that one shouldn't just look at today's exchange rate.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. The exchange rates are up and down like a honeymooner's bloody pants. And sometimes it's really just a little bit, or it doesn't affect you. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it can be major. You know,
sure.
When I came here in 2011, 2011, I was getting about 31 baht for an Australian dollar.
Okay.
Today I'm getting 23.
Wow.
And it dropped down from that 31 baht.
Australian dollar, right.
Yeah, Australian
I'm thinking
dollar.
of the US dollar, yeah.
Well, that dropped too, but not as bad. The Australian dollar dropped like a year after I got here.
Right.
And I was lucky because that cost me 10,000 a month on my Australian pension.
10,000
Now,
baht.
if I hadn't had a little bit of buffer and rainy day stuff, I would not still be here.
Right. And if you're looking for a more recent reference, look at the Japanese yen lately. It has been fluctuating madly, and so I think if you maybe strike an average, would you say is fair? Go back maybe 5 years, you know?
No, I wouldn't even strike an average. I'd go back maybe 5 years, look at the rate then, and take the lowest rate.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, play out the worst case scenario.
Yeah, play out on the worst case scenario.
Okay.
And inflation?
Right.
Oh, God, how do you measure that? They tell us it's 3.4%, but that's bullshit. I don't know what inflation is based on, because I know pork went up from 140 to 280 in about a month one time.
I don't know about other currencies, but for the US dollar, there's a website called Trueflation that looks at the price of goods and services in a lot more realistic way than I think the what do they call it? The basket of commodities that the U.S. has been using. So, the question is, for me, it was, if I stay in the U.S., I'm going to have to work full time, okay? And then I looked at the costs of that, and I also had to forecast what the real estate market was doing, because I was a realtor. I was helping people buy and sell homes in Nevada, and I looked at it and I thought, it's time for a downturn. You know, it's a normal fluctuation, and I'm kind of glad, because I guess in this case I was right. Now, I would never give advice on the future of a real estate market to a client, but when it comes to me, sure, I can guess and plan accordingly. Another thing to ask yourself is, how's your attitude? And I know that's a silly thing to ask maybe to some people. Oh, my attitude's fine. I feel positive and I can do whatever I want. okay, how's your attitude under stress? Because it is stressful to relocate, isn't it? For a lot of people, I mean, there's...
I can't answer that question. For me, it wasn't stressful. For some people, I suppose it's very stressful.
And you didn't make a visit here first, did you?
No.
You just came right to a town you'd never been in. So anyways, when I talk about attitude and how you approach it, it's like, well, do you have the attitude that is going to get you over the trials and tribulations of being an expat, where you don't know anybody, you don't know where things are. Every day is a challenge because you've got to like find out how to shop, how to pay your power bill. So you kind of have to gut check yourself and say, am I fit enough? Do I have a good attitude to approach this? Now, when I was weighing out the idea of should I go now or should I go later, I read a great book that really helped me decide, and that is Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. That book had a great concept of putting your life into time buckets, not a bucket list, like things you want to do before you kick the bucket, but like little buckets of time where there are certain things that you're going to do. For example, I enjoy riding motorbikes. So right now, in my 60s, I can enjoy that, and I'm going to go out and do it. In my 90s, probably not, right?
Probably not.
What's something that you're doing, that you were doing maybe a decade ago that you just don't do anymore?
Dancing.
Dancing. All
That's
right.
one.
Okay.
A little bit of jogging.
All right.
That's two.
Okay.
Getting upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to.
We won't discuss anything outside of the physical, right?
Yeah. Well, pretty much, because what your body can deal
okay.
with. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because there are other things my body can't do.
Oh yeah. Another video, folks. But you made a good.
It won't be a video.
You made a good point about stairs. I used to sell a lot of homes of people maybe younger than us who bought two-story homes, and it served them well at the time. Maybe they had raising a family and the bedrooms are upstairs, smaller footprint on the lot, but knees don't always like stairs as you start getting into things. So
nor do your lungs.
I used to list and sell a lot of homes, good point, that had stairs. People just, no, I'm ready for a single-story home, just done with stairs. So what you can ask yourself, what are you done with? So in this book, Die with Zero, he made a really good point about that, about the time buckets, and also that, Die with Zero is very indicative of the theme of the book, in that you need less than you think. You can there are many online quizzes you can take that will help you make a guesstimate of how long you're going to live. I mean, based on a lot of questions. Yeah. You want to know what my number came in at?
Mine came in at 88, but 88. I don't believe it. Yeah.
Oh, I got you beat. I'm 91.
91?
Yeah, 91, yes.
Isn't that an octane?
Yeah, if I keep filling the tank, yeah. So I don't know.
Can I go back a bit to these bloody stairs? Because
sure.
It's not just getting up the stairs in Thailand that's difficult. It's just made more difficult by the fact that they're only about 6 inches wide.
Right, and the tread's
and
wrong.
My feet are 9 inches long.
Yep. So your toes are hanging off. There's no handrail.
I got to walk down sideways.
Yeah, do be careful.
Can't go down forward.
Very good point.
But anyway, that's got nothing to do with what he's talking about.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I mean, if you break a hip, that's going to change your time buckets list of what you can do really quick. So, be careful, but also plan for things and get all the things done while you can. That's the point he makes in the book. And so all the motorbike riding I can do, I'm going to do now. And I couldn't do it safely, or at least feel safe, when I was doing it in the U.S., because nobody seemed to be looking for me on the road. But that's another video where we talk about motorcycle safety. So I had to do something that was boring and that I hate doing: a budget.
Oh.
Yeah. You do budgets?
Oh, yeah, every day. I have one on my spreadsheet. I update it every day.
Excellent. Yeah, good. You're a better man than I, Gunga Din.
Well, it's if you're out here and you're on a pension, a fixed income of whatever kind.
Yeah.
Without a budget, you're going to go broke quickly.
Very good point.
You know, you've got to know what's my discretionary spending.
Yeah.
That's the main one, I guess. You know, the others there, you can take care of them off the top. But that discretionary spending, if you don't keep an eye on it, it get way out of control.
I will admit that doing the budget, I started first with the budget of what I was expecting to spend in Thailand. That was kind of fun. I got on Numbeo and I was, computing it, looking at the US dollar. The thing that I hated doing was actually looking at what I was spending on stuff. And a lot of it is just because I didn't want to admit to myself, oh boy, you've been subscribed to that video service for how long now, and you don't even watch movies on it? Okay, whatever. So it helped me economize, but it also helped me compare better doing that.
My approach was different. You put down the numbers you expected. I put down nothing. And the first month, every day, what did I buy? What did it cost? What did I buy? What did it cost? And I did that daily, and I did it for 2 months.
Sure.
And then after 2 months, I got an idea of, I didn't need that.
Yep.
Why did I buy that? I could have bought less of. So, I did mine backwards because I decided I didn't want to work on predictions. I wanted to work on reality and compare to that.
Yeah, exactly. And, other things that you're not going to be able to do over here that would cost you more. For example, I'm going to fly to Bangkok next month. And you know what's the first thing I'm going to do?
You're going to go and play pinball.
That's right, pinball. I love playing pinball. And you cannot find any pinball machines.
How did I bloody know that, guys? How did I know? This is a guy that builds miniature pinball machines.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. It's like
but that's another video.
But I'll tell you, folks, there's an app you can get called Pinball Map, and I actually found and tracked down just a handful of pinball machines in Bangkok, usually at the bigger super malls. And I go and play. And I met this young lady, a young college student, really nice young girl, about my daughter's age. And she says, I like to play pinball, but all my friends only like video games. So we traded off games and competed. It was really fun. In fact, I'm going to see if she's available between her classes to meet down there and play some more pinball. But you can't, so it's costing me a ticket and a hotel to Bangkok just to do something that I used to cost a quarter, right? Just go downtown and play pinball. So some things are going to get more expensive, and just be ready for those. So, and the question is, your lifestyle, are you going to upgrade or downgrade? So for example, I soon decided to spoil myself and hire a weekly housekeeper. And that for me was an expansion on the enjoyment of life, because I've been cleaning a house all my life and I've just got tired of it. And another that I would say is having food delivered. It's almost cheaper to have somebody on a Grab motorcycle deliver delicious Thai food than to cook and clean the dishes at my house. So a lot of times, I'll just do that. So those are some upgrades, and then some other downgrades that have gotten cheaper. Example, I used to enjoy smoking cigars now and again. And I recently, a couple months ago, gave it up because
you can't find any.
I can't find it. Very good point. Really hard to find. Highly expensive here to get anything of quality. And just, I'm just kind of over that phase of my life, and so that's fine. But when you look at your lifestyle, you're going to upgrade or downgrade in which areas. That's something to consider as you do your Ben Franklin spreadsheet. So there's the initial expenses and the monthly expenses. And you may be already looking at your initial expenses, like what you pay for rent and that type of thing, or that would be a monthly. But I'll just talk about some things that you may not have thought about. Not just the cost of your flight, but the cost of your bags. If you're going to have things shipped here, you're going to have to spend extra money for additional baggage to have them bring it here. Pet transport, if you're like me, bringing a pet with you. The visa deposit, like for example, if you're getting what's an example of a visa where you've got to put money in a Thai bank account?
Retirement, well, any O visa.
An O visa, right?
Yeah, any O visa, marriage visa, retirement visa.
Okay.
I don't know about business visas and things like that.
So that's an initial deposit or initial cost that you should plan for. Setting up your household. So, for example, most rentals in rental homes here in Thailand.
Can I back up a little bit here?
Sure.
You indicated that the visa money requirement is you're acting like it's a cost, but it's not really, because it's still sitting in your bank account.
With one caveat.
You can't spend it.
You can't.
You can
can't
spend
get
half of it.
You can't get any interest that's worth a darn.
Oh no, you won't get any interest.
I mean, you get,
but you're not spending it. But
if you lock it into a CD, you'll maybe get 1% or something like that. It's just laughable.
0.75%. But then you can look at the what do they call it now? The DTV or something. And it's not just a deposit in the bank. It's cash to the government to buy the visa.
Oh, interesting, right?
Yeah,
okay.
We're not talking about little bits. We're talking about like 500,000 baht. So, but anyway, go on.
Well, you can't have something like that that's going to wipe out for example, your rainy day fund. You're still going to need that on top. But setup of the household, I was mentioning that most rental homes here in Thailand are going to be furnished for the most part. It won't be the greatest furniture in many cases, but I mean, you're going to need what? A blender, a coffee maker, a couple things that you don't have. So setting up the household beyond what's at the household is going to be a cost. Another thing that surprises a lot of new tenants here in Thailand, and some say it's because that the homes are furnished and so there's more risk for the landlord, is it's common to see 2 months security deposit in addition to your first month's rent.
Yeah, and I don't understand why that happened. I mean, I heard what you said, but when I first got here, I rented with a 1 month deposit. I did that about the first 2 times. So somewhere along the way it changed, and people decided, and some were taking 2 months, some were taking 1, and now it seems like everybody's taking 2.
Or you just have a very trustworthy face.
I don't think so.
You're going to need a vehicle. I'll talk in a minute about how I downsized from a car in the U.S. to a motorbike here and the savings there. But also with that vehicle comes insurance. And then there's some monthly expenses. Now again, Numbio is very helpful on that. But I'm going to talk about some things some costs that disappeared for me or were reduced significantly. For example, car wash. What's it cost down at the Temple Run car wash?
What, on the highway?
Yeah.
Outside only?
Yeah.
100 baht.
100 baht. So it's about, what, $3?
About $25, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. 100 baht?
Yeah.
No, about $3, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So on my motorbike, it only cost me 20 baht. And this is run by the temple, and a lot of fellows that just need work, or if they've been in an institution like a jail or something like that, it provides them with work, so it works out great. But yeah, 20 baht, and they shine the wheels too, and that's, so what? Gosh, a little over 50 cents, 60 cents. And then when I try to tip them, they look at me like a square inch opened out of my forehead and a cuckoo bird came out. Yeah, tipping is this. You're not going to find yourself tipping as much. So car insurance or car wash, gas. If I saved a lot on gas because of the. I saved a lot on gas because of downsizing to the car. Doctors, dentists. I mean, do you find that the costs are more reasonable here than Australia?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Cost of prescriptions?
Prescriptions?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm spending about the same amount of money that I spent in Australia.
Okay.
Mainly because of my insulin, because the insulin back in Australia was much cheaper, but other drugs were more expensive.
Right.
So, no, it's about the same for me.
Okay.
For many people, I'm sure it's less.
Yeah. I think the utilities are less. For power, I pay a lot less. Of course, if you enjoy air conditioning, or your dog does, then you're going to get some good use out of it, because it's hot here. But at the same time, it's not as reliable, the electricity, right? Yeah.
No, we get a few brownouts from time to time, and blackouts from time to time. But
yeah. So clothing, I find myself spending a lot less. When I go down to Bangkok next week, I'll buy some shirts and shorts for the gym. But shirts and shorts are about all you wear, like just for kicking around the house, You're just not buying clothing. And then, for example, dry cleaning. I think I've been here over a year, and at one occasion did I have a shirt dry cleaned.
Where did you have it done? I haven't seen a dry cleaner.
Oh, I found one down just south of Bandu there.
Really?
Yeah, but what I found was maybe they just said, "Oh yeah, we're going to dry clean it," and they probably just ran through the laundry. But it came out presto, I'll tell you that much. But things like that, like for example, if you're getting suits dry cleaned for your work, things like that just disappear, and so it's an example of the cost that came down. Cell phone, much less. I used to spend close to about $90 US for a top Verizon plan, because in real estate I had to have signal. I had to be very reliable, and Verizon was reliable and expensive. Here, gosh, I think I spend $150 for the entire year. Yeah, and I don't need the same service.
So you're not on plan. You on postpaid or prepaid?
A prepay. Yeah, I just paid for the whole year. And
you bought a whole year in advance.
Yeah.
And you got that for $100.
I'm talking U.S.
Oh, $100. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's about what, $8 a month?
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
About $8 a month.
But yeah, no more, like about 12.
Well, see, on my prepaid plan, I pay 267 baht a month, which is what, about $3.
Wow. Yeah. And do you get good signal?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I live up on a hill, and so.
Who are you with?
Yeah, I'm with AIS. Yeah.
I'm with DTAC. AIS is better in the outline. So go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you make a point. Better in the outlying area, and that's kind of where I live. So, internet.
Oh, they're good in the city too, but DTAC are not so good outside.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay. Internet too, for Wi-Fi at the house. It's not that fast. I mean, I buy their fastest download speed, and it's just dicey. Sometimes it works great, sometimes So, welcome to the second world, right?
What speed are you on?
Oh, I forget. 600, I want to say.
600.
600/1000 is what comes to mind. So.
I know I'm on a 1 gigabyte plan. But I don't think it really runs at 1 gigabyte.
Nah, you can run a tester on it.
Well, I do.
Yeah.
And it says I'm getting 1 gigabyte, but when I look at the results coming on my screen, I don't believe it.
What are you paying monthly on
670 baht.
So about 25 bucks? US. Yeah. USD.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was spending $80 a month in the U.S. for internet service, just for Wi-Fi. Pet sitting and grooming, anything with services, I find the savings is very deep. And I have a delightful pet sitter who also runs a dog shelter, and she loves my dog and takes him to the groomer, and just everything's great. So I know he's well cared for when I'm traveling or something like that. Now, I mentioned I'd be getting back to selling the car and buying a motorbike. On the spreadsheet, and this is the real kicker, is the car that I had. It was a Toyota. It was nothing special. It was like 3 years old. And I worked out that the cost or the money that I would gain by selling the car, a used car in the U.S., and then turning around and buying a brand new Honda motorbike here, that the difference between the two would pay for the 1.5 year difference of moving now instead of later. So when I talk about the difference of now and later, sometimes it could be something as simple as that, where you're doing the spreadsheet and you're looking at the cost and stuff like that, and you step back and say, oh my gosh, I was tired of owning a car anyway. And had that 4-wheel drive because there was snow and ice, and oh yeah, so I'm just real happy to be on my motorbike now. So sometimes there will be, you'll get that kind of a windfall just by making the move. So then you come to the last thing, which is setting a date. There's a power to that, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah.
I think making a decision, there's a power to that too.
Well, a decision, like if you work by a calendar, as I did, I still kind of do, just living by a calendar, but, because I look at, I got a doctor's appointment today, it just reminds me. But I will say, seeing a lot of empty space on my calendar makes me smile. That's retirement, right? You're a pensioner. So when you set a date, and if you're a planner like Ray and I, then you start saying, all right, I've got this much time before I hop on the plane. And then even if you buy a one-way ticket, that sends a message. Though we do recommend that you come check out the town that you're going to live in, kick around for a month, check out, test it as I did. Because what I did was I bought a one-way ticket. I thought, I don't have enough time to get my house ready to rent it out in the U.S. I'm going to buy a return ticket, make that a round trip, and I'm just going to go and investigate the town of Chiang Rai and see if it's right for me, and see if I can, have the kind of life that I'm expecting to have there. So it wasn't so much about tourism and enjoyment. It was more about, reconnaissance. Mm-hmm. And then I went back, then I set a date and I bought the one-way ticket. And that, for me, was a great feeling. Of course, to do that, you want to first have your passport, but you set up the life for you in another country to become an expat, and sometimes you might just look at the whole thing and you go down your spreadsheet and say, why not now? Why not soon? How about 2-3 months instead of waiting with your golden handcuffs on for that other bonus or something that is going to be like, yeah, but that also means I got to work full time the whole time. So
my golden handcuff was waiting for Social Security to turn around.
Right.
I made my decision to move 2 years before I moved. And it was a decision. It wasn't, it was, well, when do I want to do it?
Yeah.
Right after I turned 65.
So speaking of Social Security, you can get on the USA website, ssa.gov, and you can calculate whether you want to, I believe it's 62 years old, where you can qualify in many cases to draw your Social Security pension early, your benefit early. You get less, and then if you wait for full retirement age, but you can calculate that out and see how it works. Now, on the advantage side, you might say, yeah, but I'll get less, but I'll draw it for more years, so that's more money in my pocket. But you can calculate it and look at it. There's a lot of great resources out there for looking at whether that'll happen. And then, also you want to investigate, if you've got other income, is that going to impair your ability to collect on Social Security? So once again, we're not financial advisors.
No, we're not.
Talk to your financial expert. Nope. But that's all I got for now when it comes to...
you were talking a while ago about coming out and checking the place out, and you came out here to check out Chiang Rai.
Right.
There is an alternative that people could think about, and that is they could start on get a 90-day visa in the States. Okay. Come here on a one-way ticket.
Okay.
Have a look around. If they like what they see, extend it for a year, do the 12-month extension. Yeah. And you've got another year to go south, go west, go east, and just look around. Right. And treat that year as your exploration, vacation, whatever.
Well, and at the same time, you'll have to get the ball rolling toward the visa, the one-year visa, if you're going for that. But something I did, and I told my family this, was they said, "Oh, I can't believe you're leaving forever," And I don't know about forever. I said I'm going to try it for a year and ask myself in a year how it's going. So I decided to re-up, and just got my visa renewal recently. And so I guess that's really the contract I'm making with myself, is not, I'm going to live in Thailand forever, because who knows what the visa regulations will be. They're always changing. Sure.
Well, they might change my mind for me, but in my mind, I'm going to be here forever.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So your contract that you make with yourself is up to you, and it might be based on that spreadsheet when you're putting it together and looking at it. So thanks for joining us. We really we love talking about this type of stuff, and the whole question of now or later is up to you. Bye for now.
He likes talking.
Khao Kun Krap.
Okay, bye guys.